everybody, and welcome back to 3-2 Brew. Today we're going to be doing a little pre-modern testing here, and I'm going to be kind of talking about a deck that I had come up with. Coming back from one of the pre-modern Portland, Maine monthly events. So I brought red black goblins there and just got whooped up. And I was driving back. It's about an hour and a half from where I live. And I was driving back, and I had obviously a long drive, so I was thinking a bunch, and I was like, man, you know, like, what deck could I really tune up? Like, what is there left to brew? And then the rack got on my mind, and I was like, man, playing with the rack's a ton of fun. And then I was thinking, and I was like, man, I ain't never seen a blue-black rack, because I was thinking about the mana base. The mana base in the black-white version that I tried was terrible. And I was just thinking, like, there's not a whole lot of black base, you know, options. You can go black red or black blue on a fetch land. Black red is decent, you know, but it's not great. I don't think it doesn't feel great, at least. So I was like, you know, let me try black blue. And this is more mono black with a splash of blue. Let me just be upfront. But the thing that came to my brain was Psychotog. So I was thinking, like, man, Psychotog could be kind of nice here. I was like, you know, if you got the pit out, and then you got the rack, obviously with the pit, you got a discard, so you just discard a Tog. It's like an automatic 2-3. You're just beating him for a decent rate, and then you can exile for a big finisher. But today then, I watched F. Paul's or Fran's video on the rack, and he discussed about curve and all sorts of different stuff. And it got me thinking, like, man, maybe I drop Bottomless Pit. You know, and I'd done some testing with this, and Bottomless Pit felt pretty good, I ain't gonna lie. But it is a 3-mana card. I don't run Dark Rituals. I didn't have to take Dark Rituals out of this deck. I never even had them in here. And I was like, maybe the pit isn't for me. So after watching F. Paul's video, I was like, you know, let me give it a run. Chain of Smog. Let's talk about this card. I tried to emulate Hymn to Torok with Gerard's Verdict. Well, Gerard's Verdict is kind of Chain of Smog the long way when it comes to mana cost. Yeah, they can send it back to you, but then you just send it back. You're okay being empty-handed normally. So overall, let's talk about this. I'm running 12 total creatures. F. Paul's, sorry, I keep calling him F. Paul's, it's Fran, noted that he loved Ravenous Rats, wanted to have, like, if he could put 6 of them in, he would. So I was like, you know what? I haven't played with Ravenous Rats since I played Machine Head on this channel, which was like 2 years ago. Let me give it another run through. So I tossed 3 rats in here. I had them originally as Rotting Giants, but I was like, you know, let me give the rats a shot. It is a nice ETB effect. If I have a Cabal Therapy, it sacks, yada, yada. I got 4 hippies. I love leaving home with hippies. I do. I don't care. You know, I know there was a time and a place where people were saying hippies weren't really of rate in this format anymore. I don't know if they are or not. I don't really care. I love them. I got 2 Plague Spitters as well. First off, Chippy on this art, just chef's kiss. But second off, this card is just a house against them low-down threats. Eats up White Weenie, eats up elves, eats up everything. I love having a main deck. None of my stuff dies to it except for the rats. Bit of a nombo there. The Rotting Giant, it wasn't as much of an issue, but I digress. And then 3 Psychotogs. I spoke to my homie Kevin Costner, and he kind of said, like, you know, I had 4 Togs originally. He's like, maybe we trim down to 2. So I had 2, and then I was like, let me go up to 3 as I started cutting some stuff out. Discard spells. We have 4 Chain of Smog, 4 Duress, 1 Cabal Therapy. Not a whole lot of stuff you want to sack. I could maybe go up to 2, but that's some testing. But we also got 4 Funeral Charm. So overall, we're pumping out 13 just discard spells, which is fantastic. I love that. We also got one Skeleton Scry. F. Paul said that he didn't love that the deck, you know, had so much stuff that cost you life. And I didn't put 1 in because of that. I put 1 in because I only owned 1 at MTGO. So I didn't feel like buying another one. I was like, you know what, I'll just run 1. And I did the same split he did. I tried Innocent Blood here, but didn't love it. The sorcery speed felt kind of meh. So Diabolic Edict and Smother feels very, very good. And then my artifacts, I'm running 3 Curse Scroll. I think this card's just so good in this type of deck. I love Curse Scroll. And 4 Rack. Land base is definitely different. We are running a total of, like, I think what I would call like 14 or 10 sources of blue. I have 1 Fairy Conclave and 4 Mishra's Factory, so I like the fact that I can toss in just a little bonus man land, one that has evasion as well. Not mad about that. Single island, 4 Polluted Delta, 1 Reflecting Pool, 8 Swamp, and 4 Underground River. So, you know, finding a blue source isn't super easy, but if you can find a Delta, normally you can fetch it in a position where it helps you. Main deck, you only have Psychotalk. I don't have any other. There's no cantrips, there's no Gush, Chain of Vapor, etc. All the blue is in the sideboard. It's more of a splash, like I said, so I wasn't really too concerned with it. Sideboard here, this is one that's, I'm really working through this currently. I don't know what the correct answer is. The deck that I'm going to be running has 2 Phyrexian Furnace, 4 Blasts, 1 Chill, 2 Dystopia, 3 Engineered Plague, 2 Gloom, and a Perish. Here are my thoughts here. Chill is just nasty. Just start with that. This card is just disgusting. I really wanted to get it in here. Might even go up to a 2 of eventually and see what else I can cut. Having an Axie to fight five pieces of like a red deck is fantastic. We have a great game against goblins, I think, and same with Burn due to this. So I think Chill is just awesome. Phyrexian Furnace, just a great piece to hit the sideboard or hit the graveyard. F-Pauls runs it in the main board. I didn't have space in mine, so I ran it in here. I could cut some creatures, but I really don't want to. Dystopia, great way to deal with Terravores and Oath-Ageddons and stuff like that. Just like Dystopia a lot as a card. I feel like it does a ton, you know, when you're playing with it. And 3 Plagues, I think Plague is just bang up. I love Plague. So 3 Plagues plus a Perish to deal with elves. 3 Plagues plus a suite of blue action and interaction to deal with goblins. Plague hits heavy on White Weenie as well. There's a bunch of stuff where Plague does well. Gloom, just a straight up white tax card. We got no white in our deck, so I'm free to play Gloom now. I love Gloom. This card has overperformed me for me in every single instance. I played it in my black-red Goblins deck, and it felt great. Being able to tax the swords, being able to tax just about anything felt great. And then I'm running 1 Perish. I also just love the art on this. Rebecca Guai is just so good. But also, I think it's just great against any kind of go wide green strategy. The Rock is one of my biggest thoughts with this. I think Perish is just incredibly underrated against the Rock, especially Rock Sir. So, yeah, I'm really excited to see how this goes. I have a good feeling about this deck. I like the way this deck feels. This deck's play pattern is like, if I were to play a pseudo control deck, this is kind of how I'd want to play it. So sorry for the lengthy intro. I just want to say thank you to everybody who watches and consumes my content and leaves, you know, their own comments and stuff like that. I appreciate that, genuinely. So without further ado, let's hop on in. First match on the play against McDeep. All right. It's a bit of an interesting hand, but I'm going to keep it for science. Let's see how it plays out for me. I am just going to drop Swamp into the rack. I'm just going to develop it early. Hit him with the Ravenous Rats next turn. We can hide that we're blue for a little bit as well. Okay, Ancient Tomb. So we're doing something a little bit unfair over here. Dropping a Wasteland. What are we doing over here? Just no play. Huh. Okay. Let's duress him. What do we got in this brew going on here? I'm going to take a Safara. I don't need another one of them. That's a crazy card. Bizarre. There's a mountain. Okay. Just going to play out a factory. I know they got a Wasteland. I'm okay with that. They have an Ancient Tomb ticking over there, you know? Okay. We know they got a howling mine. All right. I'm all day with it. Huh. Okay. I mean, they're taking damage, but they're restocking kind of fast. This deck is wild. Okay. Gonna discard Reflecting Pool and Ravenous Rats. So they hit both Paradise Miners. This is a crazy concept. Okay. Clean up Funeral Charm Polluted Delta. The rack isn't hurting them anymore. How do they win? They gotta have that like whatchamacallit card. Alright, I'm gonna fetch here. Hit him with the Yield Duress. Bolt, Diamond, Bolt. Stone Rain. I'll take him off of Stone Rain. What art was that? It's a good art. Tempest? Very nice. Howling Mine's a tough one for us to deal with the rack here. Black Vice. Okay, so we're fighting on that axis. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna drop in Ravenous Rats. Force them to discard. What'd they drop there? The diamond? Okay. Next turn, we can develop a Psychotog, and we can kind of just get to work. Okay, we can wait on it. Okay. All right. Begin combat. Get the rats in here. Develop this. I'm just going to quick pitch Plague Spitter and Spectre. Any order. I will copy it, and I'm going to point it at them. Double Mountain. Okay, and they don't want to point it back, so power to them. I mean, we're going to have crazy amount of cards to ditch to Psychotog. Okay, Black Vice hits me. Man, is that a frustrating card. What a cool concept. Okay. Okay. Ravenous Rats again. Discard a mountain. Get in here. So they definitely still got a bolt left over. I'll drop a Funeral Charm. The rack isn't doing nothing. This is a bad matchup for us. This is like our nemesis. This is a cool deck, though. Ooh, Second Vice. That might be my nail in the coffin. It's all going to depend on if I can get this Psychotog out and protect it. -4. Okay. So double bolt. No way. All right. GG's. Very interesting. That deck is crazy. Never seen that concept. That's a nasty, nasty concept. We're bringing in the full suite here. They didn't look like they had a single piece of on the board threat that was actually real. So I'm going to drop out all of my removal. Cabal Therapy could be very good, actually. Plague Spitter is worse. Gloom Dystopia Plague. That was crazy. I ain't gonna lie to everybody. I've never seen a straight up mana denial deck. Like, all right, on the play, on the play. Keeping this. It's gnarly. It's gnarly. That deck is super gnarly, yo. Seriously. Mulligan to 6. We're gonna drop Rack turn 1. McDeep, also just a banger of a name. Right down with it. I'd like to find me a black source naturally here. Okay, Vice. Fight me on the other axis. Alright, we're gonna do Swamp the long way. Pyroclasm Diamond. We take it. You gonna kick it back? No. Hally mine. Gosh darn right. Okay. Snow-covered island. By the way, this is snow-covered island just because I thought it was sick. Literally no other thoughts in my brain on it. Okay. Now you're going to see me struggle through being a Psychotog player here. It's really not my forte. I'm going to discard the hippie. Okay. There's a Vice. Ain't no thing but a chicken wing. You know what I'm saying? Let's duress them, see what they got cooking over here. Pillage and a Sulfara. We'll take a pillage. I'll drop a swamp. And we'll get down to business here. Okay. I had to hit that pillage, by the way, because A, it protects my rack, but also B, I only got one snow-covered island. So it's a little bit rough on that front, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, GG's. All right. On the draw here, I'd like to see it. I think chill. We got early rack again and a chain of smog. We have a wastable source, though. I think I run it. Okay. Black Vice gets to work early. That's a really nice find, actually. Vice in the rack. Okay, gonna take a bit of beats here. I'm gonna play me a factory and a chain of smog over to that side of the field. See if they want to shoot this sucker back at me. If so, I'll stick them to Hellbent. Stone Rain Bolt. Okay. Not kicking it back. Respect that. Blowing up a land here would be kind of brutal, but I could drop double Curse Scroll. Okay. Respecting it. We'll see how that goes. Dropping a hippie. They're at 1 card in hand. I'm at 4, so we're at parity on the vice damage. Okay, quick pass. Give me a land here. Okay. Attack. See what they discard. Reb. We're going to drop Curse Scroll. We're going to drop Curse Scroll. We're going to push through. We're going to put a stop on their draw phase. And this is where we'll hit them. But they got to discard a card. Okay. There's a mountain. Nothing. That's fine. You're going to have to discard it anyway. All right. GG's. That was a sweet brew, by the way. If you're watching this, McDeep, I'm a huge fan of what you're trying to do over there. You got my full support. That's all I got to say. Really, really rad. Stoked on the way this went. Let's hop on over to the next one, eh? On the draw here against Empanada de la Humanada. Hope I said that correctly. I think that this is a Calyx. Ooh, the Philosopher. Okay, okay. Be able to take on, you know, a bit more on meta deck. Not that I dislike the deck we just played against. I actually quite loved it. Double rack. I think I keep this on the draw. We have an edict to take care of any of the threats they deploy. Well, you got quite a pickings here. Ain't no hiding what I'm doing. I'd probably take the Chain of Smog if I was them. Okay, they took the rack, so I'm going to assume that they are on the rack. Gemstone Mine. This could be Dead Guy. Coming back for a second peek. Chain of Smog, maybe? They got a threat to deploy, then it's probably Edict. Alright, so they do have a threat coming. Third Duress? Cabal Therapy. Very nice. They had the turbo start. Probably take Smog here. We just got to go land, and we're online. Luckily, no double hits from this therapy. Man, I love this art. Absolutely love it. Yep, there goes Chain of Smog. Very nice. Funeral Charm, okay. I am going to just cast this on them. Okay, so maybe there are more on like a black aggro. This could be 5-color suicide. Okay, Sarcomancy hits the board. Second Sarcomancy. Oh boy. Come on, deck. Give me some lands here. That's not a land. 23 lands, 23 lands. We aren't going to be able to outpace the zombie token at this exact axis. There's the Rancor. And then a Carnophage. This deck's cool. Okay, so this is broccoli soup. This deck looks really, really, really cool. We might just be dead. I don't know if we have a tube. I guess we could go grab a smother. Okay. Another turn of beats from them. I can stick a. If I could stick a Plague Spitter, it would be an interesting decision. But it wouldn't really matter, I don't think. This is going to be for 8. I don't think I have it out here. So I had to take a ping off the underground river anyways. Yeah. All right, GG's. We just got kind of out aggroed. I actually don't hate Plague here. We don't want to take too much life against them. Spitter is very good. Rats is very good. Curse Scroll, if we can get that online, is going to be fantastic. Therapy, all that on the play is great. Maybe it is Rats, because Rats doesn't trade with them. I would like to play first, that's correct. Okay, I will keep this. Just Funeral Charm, main phase. Hit him off the jump here. Okay, Call the Herd. That's a good one to addition to the bin. That's great. I think I will deploy Plague before anything else. Okay, Carnophage. Screen Source. Okay. I'm going to put this on the zombie. The next turn I can deploy Spectre plus Funeral Charm. There's the Rancor. Okay, so they can take my Funeral Charm, which I could have hit the Carnophage with. Very nice for them. Okay. Smother and Dark Ritual. We're going to take the Smother. Drop Swamp. +1 for a nice little hippie. Negator could be a problem here, just with the hand we kept. We are on parity with this Carnophage on current damage levels. There's a Swamp we knew about, so they got DR and a card we don't know about. Ooh, it's a 4-drop. I'll Call the Herd. Womp womp. Okay. Attack with Hippie. And for 2, they drop a Rancor. That's quite lucky for us. And then a Rack. Okay. We can go up to a 3/4, which means we can deal with an elephant token attack. Okay, good defense. Bounce land, plus a dark ritual, so their hand's dead. I hope I hit that land. I'm not going to play this land out. I don't personally see a need to. So what I'm thinking is I'll probably take another round of beats from the Carnophage. And then I can set up a good block with the Psychotog. So Carnophage is forcing him to take a bit. Or I could just push damage here and have the rack finish him off. Either or. Engineered Plague's doing God's work. Wow. Bone Shredder doesn't do anything. That's a bummer. Smother here would be real nice, would get me the win. No cards in hand, so they're going to take 4. Or, yeah, they're going to take 4. If I push any damage through right here, they're dead. Perfect. Discard Underground River. Okay. Discard Chain of Smog. Okay. Alright, GG's. Well, it looks like they're running the old 60 card special. Or 61, I mean. I'm a fan of the 61 card special. I'm not saying that in a negative manner. Oh, another one lander, but I got so much 1 mana interaction. I think I keep this. I like what this does. Dalthi Slayer. They have a duress? No. I think I'm gonna start by deploying the rack. I like to draw another swamp here so I can double Vision Charm. Another rack. Alright, I'll put another rack out there. It's not doing anything yet. I'm missing land drops, which hurts. I wouldn't mind having 24 lands in this deck. Something I'm going to consider for a little bit. Negator here would be really bad. Rancor's okay. We could actually kill this Dalthi Slayer if we really felt the need to with a Funeral Charm. But that's not the business we're trying to be in, I don't think. Alright, we're missing land drops. It's a bit painful. Probably got a Dark Ritual in their hand. Smother. Okay. Come on, deck. Give me another land, for God's sakes. Naturalize? That's what I thought. Come on, give me land, give me land. Not ideal, but not the worst. I've seen worse. Let's see. We'll hit them as well. If I can get one more land, we can develop a Spectre or a Plague Spitter. Another Anchor. What, Hidden Gibbons? Okay. So that's great tech, actually. Okay. That's going to be a tough one to fight through. We're going to have to, though. I don't think we can get out of this anymore. I think we're kind of stuck. But I'm not 100% sure. I could at least start to block if I could get some more action under me. Smother. Man, they got the... Oh, that's frustrating. Another Gibbons. That's good. I like that. This is great sideboard tech for them. Yeah, I think I'm just grass here. Yeah, GG's. Nothing I can do. Just didn't hit the lands when I needed them. Maybe this needs to be a 24 land deck. Something to consider, but it's all good. Sweet sideboard tech. We know Hidden Gibbons is a fave of mine, so I'm never going to complain about it. Hop on into the third match. Playing against Negator. Didn't know there was a Phyrexian Negator symbol. I might need to hop on that train. That's a keep right there. I like the way this is jiving with me. Ravenous Rats into a Chain of Smog into Psychotog. Woo, baby. I like this opening hand a lot. Maybe 3 Psychotogs is too much. Not 100% sure. It feels good when it hits the board. I don't have a ton of protection for it, and it does make our mana a little bit wonky. But I do like this card a lot, personally. Go to the draw step. Hit him with a Funeral Charm. Call the Herd, okay. Doesn't matter. Force a discard here. Next turn, I think I Psychotog. Oh, they got their own Ravenous Rats. Look at them tricky little buggers. Okay, I'll discard a Psychotog. Develop Swamp. Gonna get in here. Trades there. Okay. No Smother, please. Okay. Cabal Therapy, what are you gonna name? AK. No, sir. Not a bad idea, actually, in this deck, though. Just gonna smog you. Stupor and Wall of Blossoms, okay. Nope, don't need to copy it anymore. We're both hellbent. I'm ahead on mana. If they draw mana, that's, you know, we're on parity. This is where being on the play is huge. There's their green source. Oh, I forgot they called the herd. Gosh darn it. My brain wasn't working right. That's a huge advantage. Drop in a plague spitter. This will make it so they can't attack unless they want to get rid of their elephant token. Okay. I'm not going to block because we're actually going to be ahead, I think. We'll both go to 16 here. It's a great find. This means during my turn, I can take care of the elephant token next time around. Unless they got to naturalize all the top there. Attack in. Reveal Chain of Smog. I love Curse Scroll. Curse Scroll is my type of gaming. Okay. Tempting Worm. It's a tough one. Okay. I'm going to attack with Plague Spitter. No block from them. Ball Therapy will name like... What should I name? What beats us? I don't know. We'll just name like Smother. Stupor. Okay. I don't really care about that. We're going to take 5 here. I don't think we have this race won. I think we're going to be 2 points short. I'm not 100% sure. We're going to find out real quick. Chain of Smog. Okay. It's a great pickup. Attacking with Plague Spitter. Stupor. Is that an instant? It's a sorcery. So I think what I do here is I flashback Therapy, sacking Plague Spitter. What did they have in their hand? Stupor? GG's. All right. Got there. A little sketchy. Definitely going to be a Dystopia Parish matchup. And Furnace as well. Should have brought in Furnace in the last matchup. That was my fault. Edict is good. Ravenous Rats is good because it's a body. They had a decent amount of stuff for Duress. Skeletal Scrying doesn't feel like that kind of matchup. Not really impressed with this as a one-of. I'd rather probably just round out something in my list. But we'll think about that. Plague Spitter did some crazy work there. Spectre's a little underrated, but I don't want to take too many threats out. Maybe it's like 2 Spectre and a Psychotog. Cabal Therapy felt good. Yeah, I think this is what we want. Little 61 card special ourselves here. Honestly, I might end up taking out a Skeletal Scrying for an additional land, to be completely real with everybody. Oh, this looks nice. I like this. Even though we're on the draw, I still like this. All right, we got to deploy the rack here. We don't have a choice. Oh, they named us? Oh, very nice of them. Yeah, just name the rack, get it out of the hand. That way they can't hit us with it. They could drop a creature here, flashback Psychotog. I don't think they know about the edict. Are they just going to tempting worm me? No, they're not. Okay. The rack. Smart call. Their own curse scroll. Okay. Running back the rack? we're closing in on them here. I ain't gonna lie to you. They keep dropping cards like that. They really need to get rid of Edict if they want to get a Tempting Worm out. Stupor. Naturalize, maybe? Oh, Call of the Herd. Okay. They're gonna hit Tog here? Mm-hmm. Okay. Polluted Delta and just pass. They're gonna take 2 from the rack. Are they gonna flashback for therapy here? No. I'm actually gonna just grab Snow-Covered Island. The Diabolic Edict isn't getting any better. It's part of the issue. Swamp and keep it pushing. Another 2 from the rack here. Slowly trickling. They do have Curse Scroll mana up. They have the ability to get some work done there. Library. Ooh, disgusting. Absolutely vile of a pickup here. Say goodbye to your Sylvan Library. Rack, Dystopia. See if they want to play anything else out into this. I'll pay life for a turn to keep it around. Okay. Another Polluted Delta. Just getting a bit of a flood on. Curse Scroll. Let's see what they name here. Feels Polluted Delta. It name's Curse Scroll. That's not good. Okay. They don't want to drop below 3 cards, which, good reason. There's a treetop. Okay, that'll be a tough one for me to defend against currently. Pay life 2 times. No. Factory. Okay. Curse Scroll. See what they name? Name's Curse Scroll. Named Ravenous Rats. Okay, so they got Curse Scroll, Polluted Delta, and Ravenous Rats in their hand. So good information to know. We'll get hit by the Treetop Village one time here. Which is okay. That's a land we haven't seen yet. Let's go grab a swamp, thin a little bit. Man. Boot this up. Isn't it Polluted Delta Curse Scroll? I don't think they have a removal spell. Do they? Oh, they're going to Curse Scroll that. Okay. Forgot about that. Swamp. We're getting a bit of the floods here. What'd they name on that last one? Named Ravenous Rats again. Okay. So it's Polluted Delta, Curse Scroll, Ravenous Rats, and something else. Treetop, that's an issue. I'm probably going to hold back Mishra's Factory this turn. Rats. Rat Attack. Chain of Smog. That is vile right now. It will make their Curse Scroll better. Don't get me wrong. They dropped the Polluted Delta, so they have a Curse Scroll in their hand. Okay, 6. If they drop Curse Scroll, then they have a 100% chance of hitting the Mishra's Factory. They don't. I'm going to fire up Mishra's Factory. This forces them to then... Okay. Curse Scroll with a 50-50 chance? The name Nantuko Vigilante lost that bet. Hit the Ravenous Rats. Or hit that. Okay, so they're going to be taking 1 here. That's disgusting. Oop, I don't want to concede. Please stop. All right, well, we can start getting our work done here. Nantuko Vigilante. I don't remember what that card is. Is that the one that flips and destroys an artifact? It is. Okay. Power to him. Their own Curse Scroll. Very nice for them. They're still going to take 2 here. Nothing has changed on that front. Man, come on, deck. First you flood, or first you screw, now you flood. If I can just get 1 discard spell, in all honesty, I'll be gas money. This is 4. I think they have another Curse Scroll in their hand. I don't know why they haven't deployed it. I guess because of the rack. Give me a discard spell, deck. That's cash money right there. Okay. See if they hit here. They've gotten unlucky. Name Call the Herd. That sucks. Target player discards a card. GG's. All right, we ended up taking it. Very, very nice. 3rd round here. This was kind of an interesting take on the Rock, it seems like. I'm not 100% sure, but still a pretty gnarly matchup that felt decent for us. So let's hop on into the outro. Well, everybody, we ended up going 2-1 through this. This was quite a few brews we ended up playing against. Let's talk about it, though. This deck felt clunky right now. There's a lot of pieces in here that I really, really like. I just don't know if it's like the correct call to be running blue-black, but I think I'm going to continue to explore the space. Psychotog in the deck like this feels very above rate. I enjoy the way that this runs through and the way that it plays. I'm just not fully sold on other aspects of the deck yet. The blue splash isn't giving us a whole ton right now, due to the fact that it's just giving us blue blasts, giving us 4 blasts and a chill plus Psychotog. I do like Psychotog though. Like in this deck, it feels fantastic. It's very hard to remove unless you got hard removal, which some decks do, some decks don't. Against white, it's going to be a little bit less impactful and more hurting our deck. But against, you know, black, this isn't as common still. Like it's a splash color. Sometimes they run 4 smothers or what have you or not. But I do like Psychotog. It feels good in this deck. Like I like the fact that, you can discard your hand and not have to care about it. It's kind of like if they send a Chain of Smog back at you, you're like, all right, whatever. Like, it's just Psychotog fuel. So I like that. Like, it makes your graveyard matter. There is quite a bit of graveyard hate running around, but it's not like an absolute end-all be-all type of situation. So I do like it. Plague Spitter felt great. I think this card's fantastic. Hippie felt decent. Not being hard black kind of hurts this a little bit, I think. But that's just my personal opinion. Ravenous Rats, F-Balls is correct. Definitely just a banger. I would contemplate dropping a Spectre or a Psychotog for a Rat. Wouldn't be mad about that. Cabal Therapy felt pretty good. I like the interaction we had with Sack the Plague Spitter to the Therapy, just name whatever, and then hit them with a Curse Scroll. Curse Scroll in this deck feels great. I've seen most lists run 2 of them. I'm fine with a 3 of this. I'm okay. I want to hit this card. I want to hit this card almost as bad as I want to hit the Rack, but not quite, which is why it's 3 of. Funeral Charms and All-Star. Skeletal Scrying is going to get cut. Edict, Smother. 2 decent cards that I'm never going to complain about. Duress always good. And Chain of Smog felt awesome. Exactly what I wanted it to be. They send it back. Big whoop. You know, you send it right back at them. And hopefully you lock them out. I am contemplating just cutting a Skeletal Scrying for an additional land. I would like to have confidence in keeping a 1-lander. And I don't always have that confidence with this deck, but with 24 lands, I know I'm going to hit what I need to hit. There is a debate of like maybe, I don't know. I would like to fit some accumulated knowledge in here. I had seen that person named it and I kind of forgot about the card, but AK is not bad. I don't think it's bad. And this deck would be kind of nice to be able to reload with an AK, but it's just a thought I'm having currently. I'm not 100% sold on it. I do know that F-Pulse is running Spinning Darkness, which is probably very good in this deck, but at the same time, I like what I have currently in the sideboard. Maybe it's a little too boarded for dealing with red decks. Maybe it's like 1 less Blue Blast and another Chill, or I'm not 100% sure, but I do like Chill in this deck a lot. Like, just taxing them out is quite nice. Dystopia is a great card. I'm glad I got 2 of them in here. Plagues felt good. Gloom didn't have any appearance, but Perish got pulled in against that rock deck. I think it would have been very good if we would have seen it there as well. So I think that there's good bones to this deck. I just gotta really spend some time with it and figure out like what feels good and what doesn't feel good and start to make some cuts. I mean, maybe just going into a blue splash doesn't give you enough value for like the clunkiness of the mana, but I'm not 100% sure yet. I do like this deck as it currently sits. So it's something I'm going to continue to consider. I think Stroke of Genius, is that what it's called? Oh, Genius. Yeah, that one could be decent in here if we're running 24 lands. Just going to put that out there. I could see that cut for, like, cut that instead of Skeletal Scrying. That way we don't gotta lose life. Because right now, the things that we have losing life are Plague Spitter and Skeletal Scrying is really it. Also our Pain lands. So we have quite a few sources that could deal us damage, but also the utility of having the artifacts is the Underground River can deploy them while you use your colored mana for other reasons. I like this deck. I think this deck's going to be a fun area to brew in and just kind of see what you can do within this space. It's definitely one I'm going to continue to come back to and continue to tune and try and get set up. Eventually, over time, I'll buy out the lands necessary. I haven't bought all the IRL lands yet. So once I do, I'll probably end up slotting the Sins, picking up Psychotogs, Chain of Smogs, etc. How much are Smogs nowadays? Yeah, up to $6 a piece. Not cheap, but cards I think that are very good. So yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed. If you got thoughts on this deck, drop it in a comment. Let me know. Let me know if you think that blue-black's worth the time or the effort. If there's cards like, hey, this would be good in this deck. Deep Analysis, another one that I considered that had been given to me from Kevin Costner. Once I dropped the pit from it, it felt much worse because there was no utility of like flashing it back. They have to discard a Tog or play the front side, which just isn't great value. So yeah, just let me know what you think about this. Any thoughts, recommendations, leave them below. I'd love to see them. Your thoughts, you know, I love getting feedback and seeing if it fits into a deck, tinkering with it. You know, maybe we debate it for a bit. I love doing that. I'm never going to be mad at anybody. I just like having a good conversation about it. So hope you all enjoyed. This has been 3-2 Brew, and until next time, Cheers.